that video was utter trash. Trash. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a lot different from my usual content on here, which is usually just lifestyle, motherhood, and home decor, and anything that falls into those categories. Today we are going to be talking about Amanda Ensing. And if you guys don't know who Amanda Ensing is, she is or was a beauty influencer. I don't know about now, because with everything that she has been saying and doing, her career might be in the toilet at this point. So maybe she can fall back on that poli-sci degree that she got. Anyways, her videos would come up on my recommended list and I would watch them here and there, but to be quite frank, her content never really spoke to me. Quite frankly, I found it boring. So I really never followed her like all the bigger YouTubers or beauty YouTubers at the time, like Jaclyn Hill, Tati Westbrook, Dulce Candy, Cici Castaneda or SC Castaneda, and who else, like Patrick Star, etc. So, you know, her videos would come up here and there. And then there was one video that I did watch where she said that she was moving out of LA because she felt like everybody was fake there, and God was telling her that she needed to leave and go back home. Whatever. Fast forward to November of this year, after the elections, she comes out with this magnificent video right here. And I'm being quite sarcastic at this point because that video was utter trash. Trash. She was just spewing a lot of misinformation, a bunch of conspiracy theories, and quite frankly, it was concerning. Now, there had been rumors of her being a Trump supporter, but she never really flat out stated that she was one until recently. And the way that she got exposed, even though she says she wasn't exposed of being a Trump supporter, was because her boyfriend or husband, I don't know what the situation is there, just kept posting a lot of Trump stuff on his Instagram and his social media. So people just kept saying, hey, your boyfriend or husband is posting all of this stuff, like what's going on? But she never really mentioned anything up until recently. And quite frankly, I believe that she started doing all of this because her YouTube channel is literally dying. And I'm not being mean about it, I'm just stating facts, because she has like over 1 million subscribers, but if you look at her videos, they barely hit like 20,000, 30,000, even 40,000 views, some of her videos. And not to knock those types of views, because hey, those are a lot of people watching your videos, but for a platform of her size, of over 1 million subscribers, that's not even hitting 10% of what you should be hitting. A channel of her size should be hitting over 100,000 views at the minimum. That goes across all of her social media platforms. Everything was just not where they were supposed to be. So personally, I think she was doing it, or is doing it, for views, because she saw a lot of people that were very controversial getting a lot of attention, a lot of views, and she probably thought that this was the way to go. And I can even attach to that her saying that she's a mixed chick, being Latina. That rubs me the wrong way, because I genuinely feel, and this is my opinion, that she is using, or was using, the whole Latina card to gain more views, and on top of that, an aesthetic. And I'm sorry, my culture, who I am as a Latina, is not an aesthetic. It's not something that you can put on and take off like she's doing. And this isn't her first scandal, and I kind of hate that I have to use the word scandal for such a serious topic that we're going to be talking about, but there is no other word to describe it. She has been in other dramas, such as being accused of stealing another creator's merch, and she was also accusing Kylie Jenner of stealing her pose from Instagram. It's trivial in my opinion. That one, at least with Kylie Jenner, like, come on, like, how are you gonna steal somebody's pose? when everybody like poses the same way. Anyway, I digress from the whole thing. So she posted that video that she is a Trump supporter and why she supports Trump and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that she is not allowed to express her opinion on her platform or her beliefs or anything like that, because that is everyone's right. As much as we don't like certain things, everybody is allowed to express their opinions and their beliefs, because that's the country that we live in. Where it gets dicey is when people try to interject their political views and their beliefs onto others and not respecting their beliefs and what they want to practice. That's where everything gets really sticky here. And she fails to realize that if she's going to express her support for somebody who is a proven racist, anti-immigrant, a xenophobe, and transphobic, and everything else that he is, you are going to get some backlash and you are going to get criticism, and that's not hate on your beliefs or your religious beliefs. And I didn't even know she even put this in her description box of the video until Smokey Glow pointed it out, and she had written, if you are a Trump supporter or a supporter, whatever, something along those lines, give this video a thumbs up, and if you are a sheep, give this video a thumbs down. And that to me is just a Trump supporter cold classic rhetoric, because if you don't think like them, then they think that you are a sheep and a follower and don't do your research, which we're gonna get to that, because girl, I think you need a refund. And I'm sorry, but if having access to adequate health or wanting access to adequate health care and to have a livable wage and to not be destroyed financially because you have student loans and to stop police brutality makes me a radical leftist, then I'm sorry. I would rather be that than whatever the fuck she is, because that she is just a big old fucking hypocrite in my opinion. And I want to know why her and Trump supporters and Republicans that have supported Trump feel that they are being oppressed, like genuinely asking for a friend here, because they're not the ones being killed by cops just because they're black. They weren't the ones who were stripped of their land, culture, and a language and forced into assimilation. They weren't the ones being caged in freaking cages or being separated from their family. So like, genuinely, how are you being oppressed? Because it's mind-boggling to me that they think that they're being oppressed when they actually have the power. So you can't be oppressed and have power. That ish does not make sense. Make it make sense. I'm saying this because Miss Esther over here thinks that she's actually being oppressed. Laughable. Because she is a Christian and a Trump supporter. No, sweetie. One, you are not oppressed. Because if you were, then number two, you wouldn't have a platform to spew the nonsense that you are spewing. Get it? Okay. Because if you really were being censored, then again, you wouldn't have the platform to say the conspiracy theories, all the nonsense and all the misinformation that you and other Trump supporters and Trump himself and the administration that he has to a massive amount of people. Like, we have a brain, let's start using it. Okay? Okay. And so she thinks that she is getting hate because of those reasons. And I replied to her Instagram story, not gonna lie, when she had called out Manny MUA for calling her Esther, and she's like, you're mocking me and my religion. Well, actually, she didn't say you're mocking me. She said, you're mocking my religion and God. And that's laughable because honestly, sweetie, you're the one that started calling yourself Esther. And second of all, he wasn't even mocking your religion. He didn't say anything about Christianity. He was mocking you because you called yourself Esther and are trying to portray that you're the second coming of her, which is quite honestly delusional. Anyways, I told her that she had failed to realize that people aren't judging her based on the fact that she's a Christian and a conservative. They're judging her because of your action and your hypocrisy. Because if you support someone who is a xenophobe, homophobic, and a racist and misogynist, either one, you are all of the above, or two, you are really super comfortable with people who are, which is obviously against, you know, Christian values and principles. And she is entitled to her opinion. Nobody is saying that she is not, that she can't state it, she can't express it, or anything of those sorts. We're just saying that your opinion is shitty. Your opinion is shitty as heck. Because if that's what you believe and that is who you support, then man, you must, let me not. I don't know, like, how can you, to me, like, how can you call yourself a Christian and support somebody like that? And actually heart a comment, because she did heart a comment in her video about somebody's, I forget like what the comment actually said word for word, but it said something that was very homophobic, and she hearted that comment. Like, what happened to love thy neighbor? You know, that's not something that she's doing, obviously. To me, she is cherry picking different things from the Bible, because if she was, I don't even want to come and question her Christianity and her faith, but it's just the hypocrisy of it all. It just doesn't make sense, girl. Like, come on. She says she's a Christian and she's following Christian values, but then she's hearting homophobic comments in her video, and then she's in sexy lingerie on her Instagram and living with her boyfriend, which is considered fornication and a no-no in the Bible. And not saying that living with your boyfriend and posting sexy pictures on your Instagram is wrong. It's just the fact that, again, she's being a hypocrite, because she's saying, I'm such a Christian, I am a follower of God, and I believe the word, and, you know, I love everyone, this, that, but your actions just say different things, girl. They just don't add up, okay? Like, what you're saying and what you're doing just doesn't add up at all. People like her use Christianity as a shield, as an armor to excuse their hate and their racism, because, again, they tend to say one thing and then their actions say another, which brings us up to what happened this week. As we all know and tragically witnessed on this past Wednesday what happened, I, on my Instagram story, called it domestic tea, and we're gonna call it domestic tea because I don't know if YouTube is going to flag this video. So for the purposes of that, we're just gonna call it domestic tea, where these Trump supporters were out of their damn minds. Okay, they were at their damn minds. They stormed into the Capitol building and put people's lives in risk because they believed Trump was robbed of a fair election. There has been zero proof that there was any type of fraud in this election, but because big old baby over here can't accept the fact that he lost, he had to do what he had to do in order to make himself feel better. And quite frankly, it was horrible and sickening to see what happened on Wednesday, because never in my lifetime did I think that I was going to witness what happens in other countries where democracy doesn't exist at all. And on her Instagram, she put that January 6th was going to be biblical and historic, and I mean, it was historic for the wrong reasons, and definitely not biblical because it was nothing biblical about it. It was disheartening, sickening, disgusting, and vile. People's lives were put at risk. People died for believing that Trump was robbed of an election, or, you know, just innocent bystanders were killed. There was a police officer who was brutally beaten to death by a fire extinguisher. Like, just try to picture that. Disgusting. Disgusting. And so she was just going on her Instagram and on her Twitter, where she had posted the following. She had posted, "There's not enough popcorn in the world for what's about to happen." Like, I want to know what made you think that that was okay to tweet in a time where people were storming into the Capitol trying to have a attempted coup. Like, why did you think that that was okay? Because it was not it, girl. Not it. And she later posted on, I think it was like today, To clarify, this was not condoning violence at the Capitol. Violence is never okay, no matter which party it is. I was referring to corruption I believe will be exposed in the coming weeks and would be set in stone after certification of a rigged election. My intention was not blah blah blah. No, girl, like, why would you tweet something like that when something horrific like domestic tea is happening? Like, again, you don't make sense. You don't make sense. And from this tweet and other bunch of tweets that she put out, hell broke loose because she got into it with Jackie Aina, Makeup by Shayla, and Alissa Ashley, who all three just, they let her have it. People that keep spewing all of these conspiracy theories and misinformation, if they go unchecked, then you get what happened on Wednesday. And that can't keep happening anymore. We can't be silent and letting people be like, oh, a difference of opinions. No, that's not a difference of opinions anymore at this point. Difference of opinions is like saying, I like pineapples in my pizza, and another person saying, ew, I don't like that. That's a difference of opinions. Difference of opinions does not include racism, systemic racism, or stripping people of their rights, banning, trans people from serving in the military. Like, that does not go with difference of opinions, okay? Like, that should not even be a question. And that's where I believe like Jackie Aina was, I know, what is the actual thread? Like, let me just find what she was saying, because it's, to follow her train of thought is just ridiculous. What popped off the Twitter fight between all four of them was the fact that she had posted on her Twitter, the left. I hate it here. America is embarrassing. We can only riot and loot. Defund the police. Just do what the government tells you and don't ask questions. The right. Let's fight for freedom. We love the USA. Defend the Constitution. We support our military and law enforcement. Yeah, that worked out well on Wednesday because a lot of these supporters were saying, fuck the police. They weren't letting us do what we wanted to do. You actually killed a police officer with a fire extinguisher. So yeah, back the blue, right? Just reading this thing is just stupid. Like, stupid. And so that's when Jackie Aina told her, defund Ensing or Esther or whatever. And she took that, to heart and later responded to her by saying, a lot, like not only to her, but like to all three of them. She was very microaggressive towards them, and her response was like, your racism is showing, girl. Like, She said, if you're going to call me Esther, capitalize the E. Don't you have a Bible verse in your YouTube description? And then she said, no one is hated more than the one who tells the truth. Question, did you ever end up paying your taxes? Which to me, like, girl, you're in your own echo chamber because you surround yourself with the same people who don't even, like, dispute what you are saying because you can't actually handle the truth. And I didn't even know this, the whole taxes thing. Like, I was thinking, like, why was she bringing up Jackie's taxes? Until Smokey Glow and other creators were speaking and saying that this was a rumor started by Jeffree Star, saying that Jackie never paid her taxes or what have you. And I'm just like, but girl, like, why are you gonna bring somebody's taxes? Like, why do you care? One, and two, didn't your president not pay his taxes too? Like, and then she had something on here where Makeup Shayla, she posted a picture actually of like people at the Capitol in support of Trump. And Makeup by Shayla said, people showing up to the Capitol doesn't mean he won, just like you curling your hair and tanning your skin doesn't mean you're mixed. I was like, there's shade in that one because it's true. Like, again, she's using the whole Latina thing, the whole I'm mixed to seem more exotic in order to make a profit and a quick buck. Following thing that she posted on her Instagram was, at Makeup by Shayla, let me know I am no longer Latina because I didn't vote Democrat. Puerto Ricans only come in one skin color and one political ideology, according to her. Shayla, what was your degree in? Absolutely delusional. There's just a lot to go through here. One, okay, frankly, girl, like, she was just calling you out on the whole Latina thing because you were not a Latina up until like recently. So, and like I said earlier, you're using the whole Latina thing for an aesthetic to seem exotic to get a quick buck. So, and no, not every Latino votes Democrat, or we're telling you that because you are a Latino you have to vote Democrat, but it seems very counterproductive to vote for somebody like Trump who is passing policies that don't benefit the Latino community. And since she brought up her degree, girl, let's hop on this topic real quick. Where did you get your degree from, huh? Let me know. Like, that's the $1,000,000 question here. Like, where did you get your degree? Because it's mind-boggling, because why would you list Facebook and TikTok videos as credible resources? Like, did you actually go to college? Did you actually graduate with honors like you said you did? Did you graduate from an accredited one, or was it Trump University? Huh? I bet you it was Trump University, right? Okay, because again, the number one thing your professors tell you that when you're doing research and you're writing a paper or anything of the sort, you have to have credible and reputable resources. And Facebook and TikTok ain't it, okay? Ain't it. So I would ask a refund if I was you, because that degree don't mean shit, all right? That don't mean nothing. You can go to college and still be uneducated. Another thing that I do want to point out in all of this is the fact that a lot of influencers have remained silent, and I see that performative activism, man. I see it, and it speaks volumes. Just like you being silent says a lot, Don't think we're not paying attention, because everybody was hyped and everybody was all good and dandy, posting in the summer like, yeah, we are Black Lives Matter, we support the movement, we're here with you, blah blah blah. But you're nowhere to be seen months later. Like, what did you think, that the movement was only for like the summer, for a season, and then everything was gonna be hunky-dory? No, like it doesn't work like that. All right, we have to keep working at it every single day until it gets better and better. And then what happened on Wednesday, a lot of these influencers, including the ones in my niche or niche, however you want to say it, weren't saying anything at all. And I'm just like thinking to myself, why is nobody speaking out? Like, and the bullshit excuse that everybody gives is, oh, I don't have any words for it right now. Or the biggest one, my biggest pet peeve, that everybody that stays silent during times like this, oh, I don't talk about politics on my platform, it's very divisive. Must be nice to not want to do that. Like, and this is where I'm going to ring up my little encounter with Miss Sonia Castaneda here. She posted on her Twitter as well. Like, I'm going to read it because she actually responded to me, which I thought, hey, she ain't gonna respond to me, but hey, she did. So many of you messaged me about an influencer's recent unpopular political views and wanted to know my thoughts. I personally refuse to talk about my political opinions because it invokes defensive, I think she was trying to say divisiveness, hurts parts of all of us, that leads to separation that is unnecessary. My retweet was, your refusal to not talk about politics comes from a place of privilege. Must be nice to not worry about policies affecting you or others. She ended up responding to me, thank you for proving my point. Girl, if you have a platform, whether it's big or small, you can no longer play the ignorant card anymore in regards to what's going on in the world, because we have phones, because we have laptops, we have access to information, credible information at that. So it's no longer an acceptable excuse. Maybe like 15 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even like 5 years ago, pushing it at that, you could say, yeah, like, I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But now it's no longer an excuse, you know? So people appreciate when you state your opinions on what's going on in the world, so they know where you stand. And I guess if you don't say anything too, that does say a lot, because a lot of you didn't say, and when I say a lot of you, I mean like the big influencers didn't say anything other than, I'm praying for this. And like, girl, please. Prayers is nice, but prayers can only get you so far when things like this happen. And because we are encouraging influencers and people that we follow to speak out on current events and to state their opinions and their thoughts, I guess Miss old Amanda Ensing here thought it would be cool to express her opinions too. Which, again, I'm not saying that she cannot express them. She can totally express it. But like I said, she has to be open to criticism. So for her to twist and spin what people are saying, that oh, they hate her because of her religious beliefs, because she's a Trump supporter, because she's a Christian or Republican or whatever, and that she's being oppressed, is too much for me, because she is not being oppressed and she's not being hated because she's a Christian. She's getting criticism because of her hypocrisy, because of who she is supporting. Plain and simple. Just like Smoky Glow, I did find myself in a position of, do I want to give Amanda Ensing the views and the attention that she is seeking in order to grasp some sort of relevancy? Or do I check her? Because she believes a lot of nutty stuff, like really crazy things, like the QAnon thing. That is just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, in my opinion. She is spewing a lot of misinformation and a lot of conspiracy theories on her platforms. And so she is trying to pass on the blame of what's happening to her and all the criticism and all the backlash that she's getting onto other people, and not accepting that it is her own fault. So you can't blame other people, Miss Esther, if brand deals fall, if you're no longer getting the opportunities that you were getting before this, if you're not getting the views, on other people for what you have said in your own videos and in your own platform out of your own free will. It just doesn't work like that. And apparently she's trying to accuse Here for the Tea for cyberbullying and saying that because of her she's losing on opportunities. And like I said, you can't lose on opportunities and blame other people for what you said. Those are my thoughts and opinions on Amanda Ensing and other influencers who have decided to stay silent or voice their support for Trump. If you guys didn't know what was going on in Instagram or her Twitter, then that's what's going on with her. If you guys don't want to give her a view, then I hope this video gives you the information that you are seeking. And if you wanted to give her a review or following her, I mean, that's up to you, but I'm the firm believer in social media currency, and that if you don't want to follow or give them a view, then that's totally up to you. Personally, I just think we should just ignore her like Manny did when he called her Esther and she went on a 3-minute rant. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!